Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Frank Menard here from the Menard Team Coaching and Training. We are powered by the Napoleon Hill Institute. Hey, guys, this week I want to talk to you about a subject I don't think I've talked about in quite some time. One of the principles that Napoleon Hill teaches is the power of our imagination. Imagination is a useful and a huge, powerful tool that we can use to achieve whatever it is that we want to achieve. First and foremost, we need to realize that we were probably taught not to use this when we were young. Ever hear the term, get your head out of the clouds? Oh, stop daydreaming all day long. And so we were trained and probably nurtured to remove, or at least some of us were, to remove the power of our imagination because we were told to focus on those things that are more logical, more achievable in your world. Who do you think you are to think you can achieve such great success? Well, imagination is really important. I was at a coaching session today with a group of real estate agents. I just thought I'd share it out on our video this week and some of the comments about imagination and what it can do for you. So first and foremost, in the chapter on imagination, Napoleon Hill talks about that the imagination is the workshop of the mind. In other words, we come up with all kinds of great ideas, some that we take opportunity on, some that we don't. But at the end of the day, when you get a good idea and you decide that you're going to make that part of your mission, you use your imagination to create plans and to visualize and to dream about the success that you're going to be able to achieve if you just put this idea into place. So therefore, imagination is the workshop where we make that happen. It's where plans are created and shaped, basically. So interesting to note, there are two forms of imagination. One is the synthetic form, and that means we're using things that already exist, maybe mixing them up in different ways to create a new product or a new idea or something that's more useful in today's society. But the things that we brought together to make it helpful or useful already existed. One of the examples in the book, the Hill talks about Thomas Edison and how he was able to create the incandescent light bulb. He had over 10,000 failures of trying to create the incandescent light bulb. And then one day he realized, or it came to him, maybe through the universe, who knows, that if we start a fire with wood and we cover it with dirt, not completely blocking out all the oxygen, but most of it, the flames will go away and the wood will smolder because there's not enough oxygen there for it to burn. And therefore, they created charcoal. That's how charcoal was created. And so Edison said, well, wait a minute. The problem I'm having with my light bulb is the filament that I'm using, because he already figured out that if you put a filament, a very thin, small wire inside the bulb, or in connected to two power sources, then that wire will actually shed light. Problem was it was burning too hot, and so the filament would just break apart. So when had this thought about how charcoal was created, so already this was already being done, it already existed, it's synthetic, and he combined it. So he put the filament inside a bottle, he capped the bottle off, sucked out all the oxygen, and then he connected the power sources. And lo and behold, because there was not enough oxygen for the filament to burn, it just shed light. And that's the way the light bulb was created. So look, there are lots of things out there. Ever heard the term build a better mousetrap? I already have the thing in mind, but oftentimes we come up with new ways and new ideas using those same techniques, just improving upon them or mixing them up a little bit. That's what synthetic imagination is. The other one is creative imagination. So creative imagination actually is just a brand new thought. It doesn't exist, and we're just going to go out there and we're going to experiment and study, and we're going to create something new that will help people live better lives. And so that comes from the universe. Oftentimes thoughts come from nowhere, and you don't know where they came from. And you have this thought of something that might be useful. Think about the Wright brothers. Planes didn't exist back in those days, but they knew birds could fly, so they just had to figure out how to help man fly. So this was a new invention. It had never been done before, and they created an airplane that actually flew, which brings us, probably one of our favorite ways to travel nowadays, right? So at the end of the day, you get synthetic or creative, doesn't matter where the idea comes from. Put it into your imagination and let it work on that idea and see what kind of things come to mind. When was the last time you used your imagination to solve a problem or to create something new? Can you think about that? When was the last time you did? Next question is, which form of imagination do you use most often? If you use it at all, is it synthetic or creative? And why do you use that one? Which way works for you? What specific desires or goals in your life could benefit from more focused imaginative thinking? Now think about that for a minute. Magic thinking. When's the last time you sat for, say, 15, 20 minutes, even 10 minutes, in complete silence with no distractions, closed your eyes and just thought? Earl Nightingale shares a story when he was interviewing a doctor. I can't remember the doctor's name, but he said, Doctor, he said, what's the problem with people today? And the doctor responded, well, Earl, people just don't think. We just follow whatever we're told to do. We follow whatever examples are laid out there for us. We just don't think for ourselves. In fact, I bet you some of you in the past week, your spouse asked you, where would you like to go to dinner tonight? And rather than thinking about a logical response, you might have just responded, I don't know, where do you want to go? We can't even think about where we want to go to eat. So just think about that. When's the last time you sat down and quietly allowed your brain to just go? Think thoughts. See what comes to mind. See what your imagination serves up for you. How can you make time daily or weekly to intentionally develop your imagination? Here's what I'm going to suggest. How about if every morning before you get wrapped into your work or to your major purpose, you sit quietly in a reading chair or on a couch, maybe just lay in bed and just think. Let your imagination run wild. That'd be a great way to start the day, wouldn't it? Let your imagination run wild. Dance through the tulips. I think another great time to set some time aside is probably just before you go to bed. It's been said that whatever you're thinking about last before you go to sleep is what your subconscious mind works on while you're sleeping. See, when you're sleeping, your conscious mind is inactive. It doesn't work. But your subconscious mind continues to work even when you're sleeping. So maybe matter of fact, I'm going to try that tonight. Maybe that's the time that you just lay back in your bed, close your eyes, and just think, visualize, and let your brain or your mind run free. Here's some action steps that you might want to think about after you listen to this video. Choose one burning desire or definite purpose from your life. Use both forms of imagination to brainstorm 5 ways to move that major purpose forward or that definite purpose forward. How about write out a brief action plan using one of those ideas? And last but not least, commit to implementing that step this week. So let's go over those one more time. Choose one burning desire, purpose from your life. What is it you're trying to achieve? Use both forms of imagination. Think about what already exists that you could use differently to help you achieve your goals. Or creative imagination, see what you can think up. See where your imagination takes you. Then, once you've done that, take a pen and a piece of paper and write down a brief action plan for using one of those ideas. Don't try to use all 5, just pick one of those ideas. Then last but not least, commit to implementing, commit to taking action on that one thing for the following week, right? For the rest of the week. So imagination is a powerful tool. And unfortunately, I think many of us had learned how not to use it versus how to use it. When we were kids, we thought we could do anything. And oftentimes I was told, get your head out of the clouds. Who do you think you are? Do you think you can achieve that? Have you been stopped? Have you been trained not to use your imagination? Come on, let's have some fun with this. Use your imagine, daydream a little bit, visualize the best life that you want to live, because you can have it. So that's it for today. Kind of a short video today, but I'm on the run and I got to get things moving. So look, if you like this video, please give me a like, share it with a friend. And of course, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel where I will bring you a positive thought each and every week to help you live your best life ever. Thanks, guys. I hope you have a great rest of the week and enjoy your weekend. We'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.